Hello and welcome to Northeast Community College Residence Life. Today we are going to go through our new application and contract process for housing. Okay, so you are looking at Northeast Community College's homepage. And the first thing you're going to do is you're going to go over here to the little students button. You're going to click that. And then if you are a brand new student, you need to claim your account before you can do anything else. But if you've already claimed your My Apps account, you can just click on My Apps and then it'll take you to log in. So here's the login page. I'm going to hit submit after I've typed in my username and password. Again, if you are brand new, you can start there. And then it'll bring you to your My Apps page. Now, you'll see a whole bunch of different applications, but the only one you need to focus on is the My Housing for right now. So you're going to click on the My Housing app and it's going to take you to your self-service page. So let's look at that. Okay, welcome to the self-service page. As you can see up here at the top, we have the student's name, the student's ID number, and the student's preferred email. This is the email that the self-service portal will use to communicate with the student. You can also over here see that we have our housing email address and our housing phone number. And then there's a message for Susan, who is our sample student. And you can see that Susan still needs to complete her housing application. It says to click on the 3 bars and then click on application and contract to get started. So let's do that. Application and contract. And then there's only one thing available, which is our housing application. So when we click on the housing application, it brings this page up. It says, welcome to Residence Life. It states that there's a non-refundable $25 fee required, and then it tells you how to pay that. And then it says, by signing below, I certify that the information I provide in this application is true and no attempt has been made to conceal pertinent information. And then it also goes on to explain our minimum GPA and full-time student status requirement. And it also says Northeast College reserves the right to deny residency to any students. So after we scroll through all of that, we need to sign. So we can either type in our name and it'll form a signature for us, or we can use the signature pad to sign our name. So we sign our name, we hit continue. Okay, so this is our first set of questions. Up here at the top, it asks for your mobile phone number. This will be used if Residence Life needs to get in contact with you. It'll also be used for roommate matching. It also asks for your mobile carrier. It asks if you've ever been convicted of a criminal offense. If yes, you can explain. If no, we just move on. It also asks if you've ever been placed on non-academic probation or dismissed or suspended from another college. If yes, again, you can just explain. If no, we're going to continue on. And then this last statement says, please mark yes to this statement and the following 2 statements to show you've read this application in full and you understand the requirements. So we're going to click yes. And then these bottom 2 are just that GPA and full-time student status requirement. And then the Northeast College reserves the right to deny residency that we looked at on our last page. So we're going to hit continue. Okay, so as you can see, this is our address and emergency contact page. This first address here is our home address. It's not required, but we're going to go in and I'm going to show you how you can complete this. You click on the little pen. Okay, so for the home address, you're going to put the student's home address. You need to enter something in every space in order for it to save. So something has to be entered in the address line, in the city line, in the state line, in the zip code, in the country, in the email, and the phone in order for this to save. After you've entered all your information, just hit save. And then we scroll down to the emergency contacts. Now, the emergency contacts are especially important if your student is under 19 years old. So as you can see, this is required. So let's look at this. I've already went in and filled this out for our test student. But again, we have to enter something in all of these starred fields. If we don't enter something in every starred field, it won't save. Now, if your student is under 19 years old, a parent will need to verify the application. Whatever email that you put in this field right here is where that parental verification is going to send to. After we've entered all of our information, we're going to hit save. And then there's an option to enter a second emergency contact, but we're not going to at this point. And we're going to just hit continue. And then our housing application is complete. And as you can see, I got a confirmation email, the parental verification email because our test student is under 19, and the contract was attached successfully. This contract attached successfully just means that it was sent to Residence Life. So we're going to hit OK. And as you can see, this last page says stop, you're not finished yet. If you're under 19, that parent or guardian will need to do that parent verification. You need to pay a $25 non-refundable application fee, and it tells you how to do that. And then the next step is to do the contract, which was open on February 28th. So we're going to go through these next steps in just a moment. So we're going to hit home. And when we go back home, we can see that Susan, our test student, still needs to do the parent verification in order to receive access to the contract. So let me show you what that looks like. Okay, so in our email here, this is the parent verification email. You can see it gives the student's name, what application they submitted, and it gives us a link to open. So we're going to open that link. That link is going to ask us for a verification code. So we're just going to copy and paste from the email that verification code, and we're going to hit submit. It's going to bring up that welcome page from the application, and then at the bottom it's going to ask us to sign. So the parent is going to sign here, and then you just need to click verify application. So after you've verified it, your application is complete. Then the only thing that our test student will need to do to receive the contract is to pay that $25 non-refundable fee. So after Susan has completed the application and paid her $25 fee, it's time to do the contract. So we're going to open up our self-service portal again. We're going to click on the three bars. We're going to click on application and contract. And now you can see the housing application has been completed. The housing contract and immunization record are now there. So we're going to go in and do those now. Okay, so when we open up the housing contract, this is what we see. As you can see, you need to read this fully because it's a legally binding document, and a non-refundable $150 fee is required to be added into the room selection. So we're going to scroll through this, but I recommend that you read it in full before signing it, along with looking up our Residence Life Handbook, which can be found on the housing website. And for your reference, you can access the housing site right here under helpful links. So again, after we've read it, we are going to enter our student's name here, or we can again use that signature pad and our student can sign. We're going to hit continue. Okay, and this is our first set of questions for the housing contract. So you can see it asks if we are a student athlete, which Susan is not. But if Susan were a part of the official Northeast team for any one of these sports, that is where Susan would note that. So will fall of 2022 be your first semester living in on-campus housing? If so, you can leave it marked as yes, and then if no, just mark no. The next two questions are for roommate matching. So how important is having a clean room to you? Not important, somewhat important, or very important. We're going to say it's very important to our test student, Susie. And then we're going to select which of the following most applies to Susie. Is she a morning person, night person, morning and night person, or none of the above? We're going to say that Susan is a morning person. It then asks about health concerns. If you have any and you would like to disclose those to Residence Life, you can click yes and explain. And leave it marked as no if you do not. The next question says, please select which of the following that you have had: chickenpox, measles, mumps, scarlet fever, diphtheria, or none. So we're going to say that Susan had chickenpox. And then the last question asks for you to upload your official immunization record. It is required before you move into the residence halls to complete and upload your immunization record. You can do this here, or there is also that third application, which is immunization record, which you can upload your immunization documents there as well. So we are going to go ahead and just upload them here. So I'm going to check yes. And then it gives us instructions to click the upload file button in the bottom right corner and upload your official immunization record. We're going to find our official immunization document. We are going to open it. And then, as you can see, it's been attached. So we're going to hit continue. And then we are back at our addresses and emergency contact page. We've already completed both of these portions on our application, but if we want to go back in and just double check that that is the correct information. And again, this first emergency contact, if our student is under 19, will need a parent email right here. And this parent email is the email that the parent verification will be sent to. So we want to double check and just make sure that all of this information is correct, which it is. And we're going to save. And then we're going to hit continue. This next page is for living requests. Living requests don't guarantee your placement. This is not you selecting your room. This is just for if you don't want to go in, or if you don't end up going in and actually selecting your room, that's when we will use these living requests to place you into a room. So let's say our student wants to live in Path Hall, and if they can't have Path, then they will live in Burkhart. And if they can't have Burkhart, they would like to live in the apartments. So you can list up to 3 choices in order. After we've listed all 3, we are going to hit continue. And then we get to choose a meal plan. If you live on campus, you are required to have a meal plan. As you can see the fees here. These are per semester. So we are going to select the 10 meals a week for our student. And then we are going to hit submit. When we submit, we can see that we received a confirmation email, another parental verification email, which is exactly like the one I just showed you, except that it has the contract when you open it up so the parents can review the contract. And as you can see, the contract was attached successfully. Again, this just means that it's sent to Residence Line. So we're going to hit OK. And as you can see, this has stopped. You're not finished yet. Please read the next steps below. Again, if you're under 19, that emergency contact is going to receive a PIN number with a link for them to sign this contract. You have to pay a $150 non-refundable contract fee. Again, the instructions are right below here. And then you need to check your email for your room selection day and time. When you receive that day and time, then you're going to log back in and select your room on that given day and time. So I'm going to do another video on room selection, so keep an eye out for that as we approach April. Also, if you haven't already, please upload your immunization records to Step 3 immunization record. And then you will also need to complete the My Student Body courses before you move in, and instructions for those are going to be sent out in June. So now that we've done the contract, we are going to click Home. And now all Susan needs to do is wait for her email about room selection. I hope you found this helpful, and I hope to see you on campus this fall. Thank you for your time spent watching this video, and welcome to Northeast Community College.